Why is it so hard to quit drinking? There are a lot of factors that go into why it's so difficult to walk away from alcohol. And, I dealt with all the struggles that everyone else deals with withdrawal, um, fear of what life was like sober, and trying to live the life I was living while I was drinking and trying to do that sober was just it wasn't working. It didn't work. And so for me, trying to trying to live that same life and not drink, it wasn't possible. I would, you know, quit drinking for whatever time length, couple days, couple weeks, couple months. And every time that I got back into drinking, it was because I put myself in situations that I wasn't ready to handle. My ego got the best of me. Oh, I could do it. Oh, I could do it. It's not that big of a deal. And then as soon as I got put into that situation, boom, I'm putting them down again. And I fell into this trap so many times. I mean, just, it took me 2.5, 3 years to really get my shit together and like finally quit. And it was because I thought I could just continue on living the way I was, but without alcohol. And I put myself in triggering situations that caused me to start drinking again. And I did this for a few reasons. Like I said, I my ego got the best of me, and I've always been like, oh, I can do this, I can do this. And honestly, I thought I could. In most cases, I can, but this was different. This was a different beast. And as soon as I thought I had it under control, that's when I had my guard down, and boom, I'm drinking. And so I finally came to the realization that, what, I have to completely, if I want to change my life, I have to change the way I go about it. And I isolated myself for, a good 3 months. I really limited my time out and about with certain people. And again, that's nothing to do with them. It just like when I was in those situations, like drinking was on my mind because that's what I was used to. Like it was just like a habit. Like I was just always drinking. And when drinking is like, a huge part of your life, or it is your life, like it was for me, like you don't know any different. I've been sober, coming up on my way to 3 years. But prior to that, last time I was like living sober, I was like 13 and 14. So a couple decades later, and I didn't know how to live life without alcohol in it. So I had to kind of completely, I guess, reinvent myself. And that was hard. It was hard being alone, you know? I I wasn't hanging out with friends as much. I wasn't going out to bars obviously at all, like doing the things that I normally did, or even just normal activities that alcohol was always around. Like I just stopped doing all that. And there were definitely times where I was nervous. I was like, I would say even scared, like what is my life going to look like on the other side of sobriety? Am I still going to have my friends still going to want to hang out with me? Um, what am I going to do? And I think subconsciously those things always kind of played into my mind when I put myself in situations where I was usually drinking. And that fear, of kind of missing out on the life that I used to live kind of like crept back in, and I just like I gave in to just defaulting to my old self and, you know, drinking. So when I decided to, really make that change, that's when things started to shift. My perspective shifted. Um, my level of awareness of my thoughts and my actions like really became prevalent. Um, I no longer saw life as like happening to me. I I saw it as just part of my journey and life happening for me. And so I started to each kind of stumbling block I'd come across, like I my perspective changed and I was like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of getting like flustered or upset, what is this particular trigger or what is this particular scenario trying to teach me about myself? Like, why am I reacting this way? And that's when I, was able to kind of dissect my thought process and the way I am and like where I'll, where my thoughts and actions, like, what are they deeply rooted in? And the more I started to do this, like the thought of alcohol slowly just started to vanish, right? Like I was more in tune to personal development, studying, the mind and the mind body connection. And like alcohol was no longer, it was starting to just not become a thing. But it took a good 3 months, 3 to 6 months, I'd say, to even get to this point where I was able to get the alcohol completely out of my system, get my body to like reset, get my mind to reset so I could like think clearly. And that's when I really started to gain momentum and see, okay, this is what life is going to look like. And I really liked where I was headed. I knew that I had a lot of challenges to come, and not just with drinking, but just, now that I was thinking more clearly, I could start to process the like things that I had buried for a long time. Thought, feelings of insecurity of not being enough, um, things that we all just bury and drown out with alcohol, and they never go away. And the deeper you bury them, the harder it's going to be when you're actually ready to face it. But at some point, I needed to rip off that band-aid. And in order to do so, I had to be sober, had to be of sound mind to even get to a place where I could start to develop a relationship with myself, with my thoughts, with my emotions, and really start to work on myself and the person I, I wanted to become. And, alcohol has no part in my life now at all. But in the very beginning, it was hard because I was scared. I was scared of the changes that I knew I had to make, and I was scared of the things that I knew I had to face. Like that was scary. Like it's easy to just drink your life away and, shrug things off like they don't hurt or they don't matter, or they're not affecting you. And that's easy. Facing them is hard. but it's so worth it. Like where I am today, compared, I'm not even the same person that I was, 2 years ago, a year ago, even 6 months ago. And it all started with deciding to make that change and not let alcohol run my life. And it, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just so happy with where I'm at today. I never thought I'd be on YouTube sharing these kinds of things, but like one of the greatest things about being sober is helping other people get sober, like helping other people realize that they have the power within themselves to overcome addiction and overcome trauma and overcome all these things that have been holding them down and really preventing them from living the life that they deserve. And that alone like just gives me such joy, because I know firsthand what it's like to be in that situation and like dig yourself out of that hole. And to see other people do it, like it's just, man, what a feeling. Like that alone is worth, you know, um, facing my struggles and helping other people, face their struggles too. So I want you to know that, and this might sound cliche, but like if I can do it, you can do it. If one person can do one thing, anyone can do it. It's just, are you willing to make the sacrifices in order to improve your life? In the beginning, I wasn't ready to make the short term sacrifices, not seeing my friends, being isolated, um, and just in my own head about all these things in order to reap the long term benefits. And now, here I am, sober. Alcohol isn't even a thought. Like, there's no scenario that would that I put myself in, anything that I would want to drink. Like it's not even a question. And I love that feeling. I never thought that I'd be at this place. Like I never thought, man, I can't wait till I can say that alcohol, isn't a temptation or isn't an issue. Like that never really crossed my mind. I was just kind of taking things, you know, one day at a time. And, you know, here we are. So if you're watching this and you're struggling with alcohol, I can help you. I'll leave a link in the comments, and it's my schedule. You can book a call. We could chat one-on-one and see, what you're struggling with. I help people get sober, deal with addiction, and I've helped people get sober. I have clients that I've helped get sober, and I can help you as well. So it's free. Check out the link. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.